Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Procrastinators Podcast, a podcast comprising the most brilliant intellectual titans on the whole internet. Myself, best guy ever being chief among them. We've also got Mumkey Jones here.
Oh boy, you guys are in for a good episode here.
Yeah, we're really going to bring our wisdom to bear. We've got Hypocrite. Hypocrite is here.
I'm very scared.
As you should be. And we've got the Devu.
Me and Muradi Drogs are out tonight in the town to do a little bit of clunge dunking tonight.
Fantastic. And he's going to be the star of the show, folks. We already know this. Because, all right, guys, here's the topic. You've been waiting for it. You've been asking for it. You've already seen the name of this episode, so you know that it's time for the long-awaited PCP Fetish Cast. We're diving deep, baby. We're going both hands into that pussy, in and out, making it happen. Expansion, ballooning, scat. What else you got? I don't know. Semen drinking, snowballing. It's all on the table, folks.
Ew.
It's all coming out. Yeah, that's right.
Gross.
For all three of the ladies at home, be sure to get your dildos ready now, because you're going to be tickling those clits all night long.
Now, come right out. I'm gonna come right out. I'm just gonna say I'm probably gonna disappoint everyone here.
Okay.
Because,
Impossible.
It's not that I'm, more weird than normal. It's just that I pre-planned how I would talk about my weirdness in a properly paced, distributed way. You have to, it's sort of good storytelling, right? I know exactly, I've been putting lots of thought into exactly which details to say when. For example, to know the right time to tell people that when I'm reaching for the lube, I sometimes accidentally grab the baby powder because the bottles are right in the middle.
Oh, no!
It's all about delivery. More so than the actual, substance of
Damn right.
the thing you're fucking.
I'm just here for you to deliver, Devu. I don't care how you do it.
Speaking of that,
we're into delivery.
Can we get in some baby birth, pregnancy kind of shit? That's, that sounds good. Okay,
Brilliant,
here.
Nate. We thought the same thing.
We did. Okay, let's read our Urban Dictionary definition of
God
fetish so we
damn
can
it.
move on. All right, here we go. Number one.
Are we going to do Urban Dictionary of every single fetish?
Oh, shit.
That's a good idea. Okay,
Yeah.
Number one. We might have to refer to it for some more obscure ones. Okay, fetish, number one. An object thought to have magical, especially magical sexual powers. So, my cock. Okay, number two. A sexual fixation or obsession with a usually non-sexual object. Example, socks, horses, monkeys, pain, bondage. Who says horses aren't normally sexualized? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Come on. Come on.
And what's up with monkeys being on that list? That's not cool.
That's brutal.
We are monkeys. Makes sense.
Yeah, haven't you guys ever been to blacked.com?
Oh no. Okay. Well, shit, guys. Where do we start this thing? Where do we launch?
Well,
into our
you
discussion?
just said shit, so I think we should start there.
Let's start with scat. Okay. Just. I mean, Devu, why don't you take us away? What do you got on?
Why you jumping to Devu so quickly?
Because
Actually,
I want to
yes.
get to Devu. He's the most interesting one here.
Fine.
I didn't
There is an
understand
important
the
difference.
logical connection there.
There is sort of a taxonomy. I don't know. There's sort of a distinction between being attracted to the substance of something and being attracted to the concept of something. And I am a very concept-centric person. I know that there's a lot of porn. I sometimes... The hentai that I really connect with are the ones that have a lot of details about how the character is feeling and what they're being put through. Actually, it's more common in Western drawn porn, right? Where the character will experience this horrible torture, and often they just sort of shrug it off. They just sort of oh, well, I guess this terrible thing just happened to me. And every panel will add on more and more details of the terrible, unfair, cruel suffering that they are going through. And often they don't really react to it with that much suffering. And there's something context that can really get my cock tested. That pun did not work out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
good.
so it's cruelty, unfairness, tragedy, just just terrible things happening to someone for no reason at all, if it's then coupled up with some sort of other more specific thing that I'm into, I'm probably going to download it, even if the art is shit, right?
Sure.
So wait.
like-
So just if we can dissect this as we go along. So the first point you're making is if people are suffering and it's connected with something sexual.
Well, suffering is like one of many contexts, right? So
Now, does any of this have like do you have a rationale for it, or is it just like an innate animalistic desire?
There's different logics to it, you know. So regarding shit, I am very much not into the substance of it, and I can tell that some people, you know, when you see some scat thumbnails out there, it's like those people just like the feeling of it. No, but the humiliation of it, the intimacy of it, right, is kind of captivating to me. I mean, P obviously is a much more is the PG-13 of that kind of direction.
So are you
like,
talking about
the thing about P is like I don't like the smell of pee, right? But I like the fact that that's so it's so TMI, right? It's so intimate. P.
Sure,
is,
sure,
right?
I'm with you.
So I mean, you know, me and my girlfriend walking on each other in the bathroom peeing like all the time. Right, it's great. Sometimes we make out while peeing because it's so intimate. You know, like,
Okay.
You guys make out while
it's
peeing?
so- oh yeah, so it's
That's great.
It's so
Hey, remember
At
that
my
scene-
house, we
remember-
lock the bathroom door.
Remember that scene in Almost Famous when the kid walks in on the girl peeing in the bathroom and she's just like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. Just stay here. That was
Yeah.
always a kind of romantic scene.
That's
I'm with
really
ya.
hot. Yeah, man. And like, you know, I think also P is really fetishized because hold on, the door is being opened. I have to wait until the door is shut again before I continue talking about this stuff.
Normies,
Now
get
the door is fully opened,
out!
And now the door, I mean, it was my girlfriend. Anyway, so now she shut the door again. So
Like I
anyway,
said, Normies, get out.
because like I think another big fixation of P is that guys and girls do it differently, which I'm assuming is a big part of sexuality. Like boobs and abs, respectively, can be attractive because it distinguishes the male and female figure. So
like
therefore,
abs
like
on
peeing
women.
out the front or down the center, or you know, front-ish, is like different, and that difference is what is captivating in a heterosexual way. You know, like it's like, wow, that's not how I am, right? And it's that constant curiosity of what that must feel like. Like my girlfriend a number of times is like, what does it feel like to have your dick sucked? I'm like, it feels like if my clit was several inches long and was being sucked. Like, how do I communicate that to you? There's never a way to do it, and it's that constant fascination, that constant mystery that I remember Jesse said that after the first episode of the Plebe and Weeb was recorded, that he forgot to mention that in his personal political philosophy is that if a boy and girl ever switch brains, they are fucking obligated to have sex because it will be your only chance to know what it feels like on the other side. And so I think that is differences in that is
So, Devu,
captivating.
So you're talking about there's kind of an umbrella here of like just sort of exploring the unknown or experiencing something that's a very private, personal thing. That's sort of the underlying thing that
There's
makes
a number
the
of
stuff.
umbrellas I'm talking about, like probably
Right.
two in the pink, one in the stink, if you know what I mean. And
I don't know what you mean. What is that an expression?
I'm
try to
just like
convey?
imagining like umbrellas going inside the girl. I'm sure there's a porn of that, right?
I'm imagining it then opening and it just
Oh, no.
exploding them, and
Fuck.
it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
oh,
People have
no.
died doing that.
Really? Shit.
There was a 100 Ways to Die. It was like those circus performers who swallow things all the way
Right.
down their throat, and the fucking umbrella opened inside of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fucked. That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's not even like a fun, sexy way. Like if it's in your pussy,
No.
at least that's kind of fun. But no.
I died from an umbrella opening in my pussy. That was the sexiest way to die.
There's worse ways.
Okay.
Okay. So we're talking about some general themes here. Here, let me say a specific fetish of mine that I just thought of. I was trying to think of one. I was afraid that my tastes are like too vanilla, but I actually did think of one that I recognize in myself I do actually like a lot. And you guys can tell what you think of this. And it's basically, because I'm more attractive to like when the women do things like in like the porn I watch, the guy is just like, he's just the dick in the situation doing whatever. So it's like the women doing things that's the interesting part. I like it when the women are treated just like meat or like fleshlights or like not even people. Like they're just there. They're like sex toys. When you like treat a woman like a sex toy, I find that extremely
it's that
erotic.
context. Yes.
It's absolutely the context. Now, obviously, I'm not into dehumanizing people in general. But you see this a lot in hentai with the mind break porn,
Yes.
where you just see a woman get fucked for such a long time, and then eventually at the end, like she's just like. She either is now into it and she's just like, yeah, everybody fuck me, it's great, it's a fun time, or she's just like you can see in the eyes the way they draw the eyes.
Yeah,
the way
they always
just
draw the eyes
dull,
like with this
they
vapid
dull.
expression, this vacant expression, like they have no mind left.
Exactly.
Fucking hot, yeah.
Like
my
I
girl-
like when there's a bunch of porn I've seen where like there are these are interesting to me. There's like there's a bunch of porn with like high schools, right? And they're like very high performing high schools. And so I forget the name of the show, but like what they did is they assign, or there's like a bathroom with female women like strapped into the wall as flesh toilets.
Oh yeah, I've
And
seen some of those
they're
on
just
D
for public
recently.
use. They're for
yeah, public use.
use.
That's a thread
Yeah.
you'll see on D sometimes. Public use. Yeah, it's as dehumanizing as possible. It's to make them just this fucking product in a goddamn wall.
Though to self-analyze myself on this, I think the reason I'm into it is because for a long time I had a great deal of difficulty actually getting sex. And so I would think about wouldn't it be great if there was just like a toilet somewhere which had women just strapped down that I could use?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just be great? I'm sure that factors in. So I understand that.
Oh, of course. Oh, absolutely. It's the I mean, there's a pretty decent reason why there's a correlation between out there fetishes and shut-ins or otherwise unattractive, unaccepted people. I don't still self-identify as a guy who gets laid ever. I still have all these moments of like, oh yeah, I have like a girlfriend and shit. Right.
I
Oh
know
my
what you mean.
God. Like, and I feel like, especially when I'm like 13 or whatever, the whole idea of having actual sex is about as foreign to me as the concept of, say, like a fantasy where like everyone in the world except me and like maybe 5 or so girls like vanished, like the fucking Left Behind series all of a sudden, right? Which were some of my earlier fantasies, right? And I thought like, yeah, like I know logically actual sex is plausible, whereas like a fucking anthro transformation is not, but it still felt that my dick felt that way, let's say. The dick has its own fucking train of logic and its own ideas. And I think that if I'm just going to talk about sex in general for 10 seconds. This is sort of a general like moral thing I thought of, like this is like my favorite neckbeard fedora statement, which is that the whole idea of sex before marriage being bad was a rule that was invented back when people got married at like 13. And now, sort of religion and other things and general societal standards have subjected us to this situation where people go into their 20s as virgins, which is probably 1,000 fucking times more unnatural than fucking a member of the same sex. And I think it is probably quite instrumental in getting people to fuck everything that they see laying around their desk.
I hear what you're saying. It makes sense to me. Humans are obviously extremely sexual creatures, and we want to do it all the time. I mean, at least men. I can't speak for women, but they seem pretty similar.
Yeah.
You can speak for women.
Yeah. I know some women. When I was a kid, I really thought that like women just didn't have sex drive. Turns out I just met a bunch of shitty prudes. That's not true.
Turns out I was a kid and they weren't revealing that information to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Hippo, what are your fetishes? Like holding hands, kissing?
No, Hippo was like, I remember whenever
Mud puddles. It's mud puddles, obviously.
Ew.
No,
That sounds like an offset of Davoo.
Hippo's pretty high up there. Hippo, I think he's the only one who, like me, who is like firmly from the sort of deviant art school of fetishization. Whether or not he's used that website, there's
What, like inflation?
there's a number of different categories, right? There are the sort of
We need to
surface
let
level
Davoo
fetishes.
All right,
Hippo
let's-
speak for
yeah,
himself.
let's
You're right,
hang on
sorry.
here and let him go.
Move on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I am kind of up there. Like Davoo, I have an umbrella of like, I don't know whether about many umbrellas, but
In your pussy right now? Is that what you're
Yeah.
getting?
Like I keep buying them.
I just keep putting them in because they get lost, and I just have to keep adding more. Okay, I'm sorry.
I feel all apprehensive about this. I'm not as gung ho as about.
Dude, no matter what you say, it will not be as fucked up as the shit I already said about wanting to dehumanize women and treat them like meat. So don't worry about it.
It's you shouldn't be hyped up for what I'm about to say. It's really just that my umbrella is more about like growth and growing. So inflation is part of that, but it's not like. All right,
Maybe just
I'm
like
trying to think of a way
inflation or something?
to put it. Growth in humans in any facet is like something I'm really interested in, realistic or not. But usually I prefer the realistic stuff. So like the natural breast growth of girls, just like if they just a young teenager, and then over the years they get like real big boobs, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a sex god, and I'm like, yeah, that whole process was great.
Sequence.
It's the sequence, it's the process, it's
Right.
the going from one to the other. It doesn't necessarily
that is
have
damn
to be
sexy. I agree.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a thing that I would like otherwise. Like it could be a penis. It could be like just a person
penis.
going like a giantess. It could be
Yes.
somebody getting really fat, even though I don't like fat people. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, the fat
like-
thing falls into like the humiliation, demeaning. You've become worse.
Hey,
Specifically,
fat women
yeah.
are beautiful, all right? Do not
when I
the
mean,
thing
when I mean
is-
fat,
the
I'm
thing
talking
about
like
it-
I'm talking like actual like fucking round. Like I'm talking like there are D threads of blueberryfication straight out
Yeah,
of
right.
Willy
Yeah.
Wonka. I'm not.
It's-
I'm not kidding.
it's-
Yeah,
Willy
jerking
Wonka
off to the Willy
literally-
Wonka movie.
Oh no, I'm not. It's not even like that's not
real
even
shit.
hyperbola, man. Willy Wonka, that one
Hyperbola.
scene did in fact incepted a very specific blueberry-based fetish in the dicks of many young men.
You're right, you're right.
Not me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty flexible. I can do it sometimes, but some people
I
are
wanna-
pretty into it because it's like when you see that girl reduced to this pathetic little blob out of her own misdeeds. It's like that's some fucking grade A context right there. You know what I mean?
It's just how the Disney cartoon Robin Hood got all you guys into My Little Pony.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. Obviously, if you want to talk about correlation and causation with fetishes, Disney and furry is pretty fucking unobjectionable.
Zootopia, baby. I was a late bloomer, but I want to go fuck a rabbit now.
Yes.
I do want to talk about anthropomorphized stuff, but I want Gib to go on first.
Yeah, it wasn't finished. But
of
now
course.
I've lost my train of thought. I was talking about yeah. It's not necessarily the thing in question, like the being fat. Like I don't like fat people. I don't like just seeing a
No,
fat person.
I hate them.
But the idea of somebody just eating like so much that they become a giant, like even to ridiculous proportions, just becoming a giant blob of like you can't even see their face. They're so it's
Yeah,
like
that's what most
it's like
inflation
weird.
is.
It's yeah. I mean, inflation feels weirder because it's just a sphere, and
Yeah.
they just go outwards in a sphere, and it's like that's so far removed from human
I don't
anatomy
understand
that I can't even.
what's attractive about that, though. Can you explain to
Yeah,
me? at
I
all?
wanted to ask, but I didn't want to seem rude.
What about the fat thing?
Well, like,
Yeah,
so
like,
like somebody gets blown up and you can't recognize their face, and it's all
Well,
like
it's not.
dysmorphized.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not the end result. It's the fact that it just goes from one to more.
Yes.
It's like the growth aspect, the going.
Oh.
so like
the plus.
accelerated puberty.
Yeah. Well, anything, any sort of growth thing. That's just really what I'm into. Any growth
Okay, well-
thing, and what I'm into like the most is the stuff that could actually happen in real life, like breast enlargement, just over time.
Yeah, like a girl turning
okay.
14. I'm into that too.
yeah.
Okay, well, that's interesting. But like, what I think this is, we're coming from a slightly different perspective, at least the way I view this stuff. Whereas, at least how like this specific fetish works, because like when I'm thinking about porn, or like what gets me off is like I think about how my dick gets involved in this situation, and like that's what I'm really focused on. And I
Yeah,
just don't
that's-
understand how my dick gets involved in like an inflation
That's
situation.
that's yeah.
That- what-
That's it. That is the thing. It's
Yeah.
It
it's
brings us
like,
back to the thing I said before about how.
wait,
your
Gib,
dick-
Divo,
sorry.
he was
Sorry.
I
going
really
on.
wasn't sure if he was going to say it or not. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. It's the concept. It's the idea of something happening. I'm trying to think of
Okay.
like exactly like the fat thing, because like sometimes it's nice when they just get like chubby, like just a little bit, and they're like, oh no, I put on weight, but you know you love them anyway. Like that's all right. But then there's this stuff where it goes way over beyond what I would consider. Like after I'm finished, I look at it and I'm like, ew, oh god.
Oh well, that's
not,
normal.
Not
I've
beyond
been
the
there.
point that you'll use it, but beyond the point where once you're done, you're like,
yeah, and it's
this
not
is a
and
little
it's
bit
not
far.
it's not about sex at some point. At some point, like there are things that aren't sexual about growth that get me feeling weird, but it's not it's
yeah.
not my dick that's feeling it. It's just like anything where there's like a monster in a thing that just eats souls and it grows to a gargantuan size. It's not about sex, but it does make me feel a similar feeling. So
Okay,
really,
but could you
all
jack
it
off
is-
to it? Is to this feeling?
I don't know. Like
okay.
I think the last time I remember it like very vividly was when in One Piece Gecko Moria was like getting
Right.
loads of shadows and he was going in and he was becoming gigantic. But not only that, in the anime, he had his voice deepened like several octaves, and it was terrifying. I was
remember
absolutely terrified of it, and I think that was what it was. It's the behemoth, like gargantuan size that is uncontrollable. It's like a Godzilla. It's like that's it's way beyond anything I could even imagine. It's terrifying.
That-
That's what makes me feel weird. And then if they have tits, then it's also sexy, I guess.
I see.
Yeah,
So
like
the female pirate from One Piece episode 1, do you like her? Doesn't she get all big and fat?
Alvida. She's just
she
a
just
fatty
starts
from the
fat.
start. She actually
Oh, I
gets
thought-
she actually gets way skinnier later and becomes like a sex god as a
Oh
slim
shit!
lady. Yep.
Wait,
yep.
she comes back later on. They have to bring back even the episode 1 villain
well,
for this shit.
She comes back with like a whole new context and is actually a much more interesting character when she does, and is pretty cool. So I don't know.
She comes
Fuck
back
you,
quite
Oda.
They
quick.
salvaged her well. Oda doesn't forget, man. But okay, we don't need to get onto
so
a
all
One
that shit
Piece
that we were
thing.
just talking about once again goes back to the whole if you're a fucking virgin, your dick thinks that nothing is gonna happen to it, so you might as well fantasize about anything. Like you can just keep going further and further down the fucking giant fat rabbit hole there. And
Having
looking
sex
at-
is a good way to stop sexual exploration.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
it really
you gotta.
is.
Yeah.
And like inflation, right? I think a lot of it does. Once again, talking about the whole context and also tactility thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm looking. I've DeviantArt searched some, and
Oh,
there's
good.
a pretty decent focus on panty shots, which is to say this giant white wedge that is vaguely in between their 2 feet, right? And like imagining what that must feel like to have those panties be so stretched out, which realistically the clothes should just rip off, but usually the clothes manage to stretch out, right? And it's that feeling of like, what would a vagina feel like if it was this giant 12-foot ball?
See,
right?
now I see how my dick can get involved here. This makes
Right,
more sense to
exactly.
me.
Nikki's looking at me, my girlfriend, that's her name, and just letting you know, like, I'm not particularly into this one. Like, I mean,
Okay,
if I had to, I could do it, but not really. But again, also there is the context of like a fact that a girl could be reduced to something like that is like, oh man, that is so hot that she could be so. Like, I'm talking like a ball. I'm talking like an actual fucking ball. Nikki's like looking at me like shaking her head. And that's
Hey,
the
Nikki,
thing.
don't kink shame this man. Get the fuck out if you're gonna be bottling up my hero Devu.
This is a sexual safe space.
Exactly. That's why pedophilia
Triple
is
S.
okay.
Yeah. No, we'll get into pedophilia.
I'm
Nate.
looking forward to
you,
it.
you got
That's
more
not a
turns
fetish,
coming
That's
up.
perfectly natural.
We'll all right, we'll get to that.
I've got something else to say about
Okay.
stuff. There's the futanari fetish.
Sure, okay.
Chicks with dicks.
Ooh.
This whole thing
It's called a trap.
is called a trap.
No,
but
it's different.
sometimes
Well, it's a separate
sometimes
thing. It's a separate.
so, I mean sometimes I
Sometimes
see
the same.
images of
Go to
when
D.
it's just a
Buddha
girl.
and traps are distinct.
It's just a girl with a not even wearing anything down there, just sort of having the dick swing around because it's like 50 feet long. Doesn't make any sense. But I over the course of like looking at that sort of stuff, I've come to realize that I like it not because I can disassociate the idea of a male and the idea of a penis.
Yeah,
And I don't know
absolutely, me
whether
too.
it's like because as a man I have a penis and I'm not repulsed by it because it's not gay to look at your own dick because you have it. So the idea of someone else's dick, it's just the dick isn't inherently male because
No.
it's like there's an idea of maleness being gay, but you can't be gay if you look at yourself. So the dick isn't
Right.
inherently gay. So if a
Wow,
girl
that's
has a
good
dick,
logic.
then it's just a girl with a thing. And
I actually had thought about this point for a long time because my favorite hentai to this day is still Bible Black, and Bible Black is just full of Fuda. It's like Fuda Central. And I really had to think about okay, so you've got just a woman here having sex with, well, you've got Professor Kitami? Yeah, Kitami, she's just a woman, but she like uses magic to grow a dick like above her vagina, and then she has sex with women with it. So like that's cool, but like what are the bits of this equation here? So you've got 2 women plus 1 dick, basically. So like basically when you're watching them having sex, so like for example, in episode 1 they're having doggy style sex, her and this green-haired girl. So like when you're watching from the front angle, you get to see 2 pairs of tits bouncing around while they're having sex. So that totally fulfills my criteria of imagining where my dick would be in the situation, and I get to see 2 excellently animated pairs of tits bouncing around. It's fantastic. It's really great, and I love it. Now I actually do prefer like one man, one woman, just because it's that much easier for me to project myself into it. In case you can't tell, like my tastes are extremely basic here. I just want to be able to imagine how I'm having sex with this person. That's what I do, like every
See,
time.
I'm
That's what
wondering
into.
about that because I don't know whether I even think about that when I'm looking at porn.
Yeah,
I think,
I'm not sure either.
Really, really.
I think what I
and that's
do
why, like, I
is-
can't. I've never been into like lesbian porn at all, because like I can't.
Well, I'm not into
related
that
there.
either because it's
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, lesbian porn's boring.
But,
I mean, I
I
legitimately
think-
think so. Digi would argue against that, but I do think that.
But
no,
like,
I think so too. I wouldn't watch that shit.
Okay.
I think it's like I get a grasp of what the character is, and then I just imagine how I would interact with that person instead
Okay,
of just
okay.
Literally taking the place of whoever is actually
So
having
you're
sex
actually
with them.
using you're using more imagination than I am because like I'm just projecting
maybe.
myself, whereas you're kind of coming up with your own stuff.
I'm coming up with like lore and stories of like potential
He's
like
coming
what
up
would
with
happen.
cum.
Indeed.
Oh,
Indeed.
of course. But yeah,
Well, that's interesting.
that's why I like characters a lot. Like I have so many waifus because I just keep thinking about what they would do to me or what I would do to them.
I've got a couple waifus myself, so I'm no stranger to that. But yeah, I hear you. I hear you. When it comes to specifically porn, though, I do notice this about myself and my viewing habits. I'm looking for a guy fucking a woman because that's what I want to do. I wanted to see most of the woman. I don't want to see the guy's face. Like, whenever they put a guy's face in, I mean, I just prefer it if they don't. Obviously, you see that in porn all the time. They try to
Yeah.
keep the guy out of the shot.
Oh, you know what? It might be because I'm not like built like the sort of normal. I'm not either fat or muscular, and whenever there's a
You're
guy
skinny
fucking
fat,
a girl,
as they call it.
I'm just kind of small. I'm small and skinny.
Yep.
And that's more similar to the shape of a woman than it is
I know,
the shape of the man that is usually fucking the girl in the hentai. So I can't really project myself onto that big muscular man. So it's easier to project myself into like one of the Futanari girls. Maybe that's how it works.
I know a girl who like she can't enjoy porn if the girl who is in the porn is like not white, right? And she feels bad about that. But I'm like, hey man, it's how you see yourself. And like for me, I don't really think of myself racially. I just think of myself as like having like curly hair and like having sort of my general kind of face. Right? If there's like a guy who's like a big manly man with a beard, I can't project at all, right? Or if
Yeah.
they've got like straight hair or like short hair, I can't project at all. But if it's a guy, black or white or whatever, but he's got like kind of thick hair and sort of like just doesn't look like a grown ass man, I can project myself way more easily, and I'm way more into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I do like it when the guy looks as much like me as possible. And if he's like super ripped or anything, that will be distracting. As if he's like black or something, because I'm not black, so it's like, okay, well, that's not me. Yeah, but it's never really been like a huge issue for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like usually at the moment of actual like coming, I'm thinking intensely about the feelings that the female is going through. I'm latching entirely onto that fascination of what it must feel like for them. I feel like that's the moment where I usually like end up at because I don't know. That's usually why I don't need a guy to be involved, although it does often help, but I do plenty of like just two girls, just thinking about what they are feeling, just constantly empathizing with that.
And by the way, to those of you, there is a contingent of people out there who argue that like lesbian porn is the straightest porn for guys to watch because there's no man there. Obviously, it's
yeah.
less gay than watching a man have sex. Like, what are you, gay, bro? Why do you like looking at dicks, dude? Just letting you know that's
totally real.
incorrect, guys.
Reasonable.
It's incorrect. Yeah, reasonable. Yeah, I think they're onto something. Okay.
Maybe they should chop their own one off, and then they won't ever have
Oh
to
yeah.
They won't be gay anymore because they won't have a dick.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense to me.
Oh.
Well,
Davu, did you have more of your diatribe to go through? Because we cut you off like an hour ago.
Well, I mean, no, I'm willing to like just. I mean, I do have more. I do have some notes.
Oh,
Yes.
well, I'm ready for it.
yeah, let's meander through that again.
So as I was kind of alluding to a little bit ago, like there's sort of like different cores or different layers of fetishism, based on like how obscure it is. Like, people might say like it's a debate as to like what fetish is more weird than another one. Like say choking, you could argue, well, that's like bringing about death. That's like pretty fucking extreme and also fairly common.
Yeah, tons
You
of
know,
women
so
love
here's
that,
the thing,
especially.
right? Like, all that inflation stuff. I think DeviantArt is still primarily the home of stuff of that sort of sector, right? I'm sure there's plenty on Tumblr, but Tumblr tends to be more of a quality zone in terms of what you're gonna see. DeviantArt is an absolute dumpster fire of quality, and that is what inflation is. I'm sure there's probably a number of people drawn to it because of the amount of quantity of it, because inflation is easy to draw because it's a circle. Anyway,
True.
That's true.
Does cribbing
and-
count as inflation porn? Just inherently?
Oh shit!
already,
Probably. Oh, there's
you know?
probably like I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of people who work at Nintendo are into inflation. There's a couple too many times. No, man. Like, Super Mario Galaxy 2? Yoshi has a power-up in that where he inflates, and Mario, like, doggy-style grabs onto Yoshi's ass and floats up with him. I'm like, this was animated with a little bit too much TLC for me to, not be entirely unsuspicious.
I hear what you're saying, and it also happens that in both the Galaxy games, there's those Lumas that you have to force-feed tons of bits to, and then they get fat, and then they explode
and let's not
into
even
a
get
star.
into fucking Mario and Luigi, Bowser's inside story, which is all about
boy.
being inside every intimate detail of Bowser's body, and also he grows and shrinks a number of times, and also he has a weight gain scene. Someone who works at Nintendo jacks off to Bowser daily. Is what I'm saying.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
You think somebody?
Yeah, it's true.
You think anybody jerks off while playing Dig Dug?
Oh God!
There's the inflation, and not to mention, of course, mentioning Miyamoto. There's the whole power mushroom thing that makes Mario big. That's pretty similar.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a whole DeviantArt section, and but the thing is, if you go to DeviantArt and search fetish, then click newest, you're gonna get bondage, latex, furry, latex, bondage, inflation. Bondage.
Where do I sign up?
Cut off. Right. So the thing is, those fetishes are way more common, right? Those fetishes are much more in the realm of people who do actually, go out and meet people, right? So there's this website called FetLife, which is a dating website for fetishes, and it's all about those kinds of fetishes, right? And this list that I posted on the Discord chat, I might even share it on the internet somewhere. It's a list of FetLife's top 100 fetishes as picked by its users, like how many users have identified with this fetish. So bondage, oral sex, spanking, hair pulling, anal sex, blindfolds. Then you go down to the bottom, you get stuff like enemas, daddy girl, bisexuality, teasing, submission, orgasm denial, cocksucking, flogging. These are all things that can be done in real life.
Cocksucking is at the bottom?
This is basic shit, yeah.
I know, right? And there was some weird stuff. I mean, one time
Getting
I saw...
a blowjob is a fetish?
The thing about FetLife is you can actually add any fetish you want, and what you'll see is a lot of profiles, men and women, they'll just start, mass adding, literal hundreds of fetishes that were submitted to the site while they jack off. So some of them get really specific, like laying down while daddy rams his cock through my left ear socket, that kind of thing.
Oh,
right?
no! Okay.
Devu, is this the website you used to meet your current girlfriend?
No, that was a different one. This website kind of sucks because I'm not into these kinds of fetishes enough.
Right.
I'm in, and whatever. Anyway, so there's that difference. And so when you go to somewhere like DeviantArt, it's a much more obscure realm of sex doesn't even have to be involved. In fact, that's actually another thing I want to talk about in a minute, but I might have to restrain myself so I don't just go on straight for a whole 2 hours.
Please don't.
Which is that sex doesn't even, most of my fetishes, the whole diaper thing, right? The whole ABDL segment. That's the acronym, right?
Wait, what does ABDL stand for?
There's two different subgroups. There's diaper lover, that's the group for the diaper thing, right? Then there's adult baby, which is infantilism, right?
Yeah.
You can't be one without the other. I think a lot of people are, but ABDL
Vote up
is the
infantilism,
phrase.
people.
Yeah. So that often, if you go to DeviantArt and you look up diaper art on there, most of it, in fact, the vast majority of it, never is explicitly sexual if you don't have that fetish. And if you were somehow unaware as to how fetishes work, or you just weren't cottoned on to the nature of the internet, you might just be generally weirded out and not even realize that there is anything sexual going on. And in fact, the comments section and the whole community on DeviantArt is amazingly chaste, or roundabout. There's no one who just comments, I came to this picture, like you'd find on certain other websites. There's a site called diaperedanime.org where people will say, I came to this picture, right? But
is it just if you go to DeviantArt, is there a GIF of the Rugrats theme song when Tommy's diaper falls out of the air and lands on his legs perfectly?
Probably, yeah. But,
cool.
There's some good art.
I came to that, too.
Yeah. Well, anyway, no one ever talks about sex there. No one talks about being turned on by all that shit. People just sort of say, cute.
And this is on DeviantArt, you're saying?
Yeah, it's almost a weird, sort of drug deal. It's like a drug market where everyone's like, hey, do you have the gashi? Thank you. This one will be quite nice up on my mantelpiece,
Are you suggesting there's deviancy on DeviantArt?
Yeah, well, in the diaper community specifically, but all those, I don't know what to call them, the pure fantasy ones, where no sex is involved. Most characters aren't hardly even drawn in sexually compromising positions half the time, right? There's never any, genitals involved,
Okay.
almost never. And it's but it's still entirely something you can jack off to. I can jack off to. It's entirely something that, like, it's all those things I mentioned before: context, humiliation, the sensation of like what it must feel like. Like what a diaper feels like tactilely. Maybe some people think it's a really good feeling. I don't fucking know. I'm not.
See, that's interesting because I just fundamentally do not understand anything that isn't like jacking off to anything that isn't just sex, and that's a limiting thing for me. That's a hang up I personally have. So I'm just very interested to hear all about
You're only
this
living
stuff.
half a life, Nate.
I know.
Yeah.
I need to expand my horizons.
Expand is right.
Yeah. I should have got a diaper for this and be crapping in it as
Oh,
well.
this is
God,
my
doing
favorite
this.
episode so far, and we're like half an hour in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is good. This is good.
I'm actually learning from Devu. I didn't know all these things existed, and he's like educating us on the communities, and I'm really interested in it.
Me too. Well, do you have any further points to make? I mean, we've got some other things we can go to if you like, but
Dude, he has 2 hours. He has a whole PCP lecture of points to make.
I'm sure he
think.
does.
Oh yeah. So what you were talking about a little bit ago, Nate, is that like, because you can go pretty deep dive into D-esque stuff sometimes, right?
What is D-esque?
Like D, 4chan board.
Oh, D-esque. Yes. I see
yes.
what you mean. Mhm.
But I feel like the core is all about the dick and the pussy, right?
For me, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, for me, I mean, this is becoming
Hell yeah.
this is becoming less true having like this actual girlfriend to fuck, but especially all alone. I feel like there's this sort of difference, this sort of gradient between like having fetishes as a garnish versus the fetish is the beginning. Like you are jacking off to the fetish and sex isn't even involved, as I described just a bit ago, right? And I think there are like a lot of people who might like if you look at like live action diaper fetish porn, it's usually
Right.
that 90% of it is girl puts on a diaper and then jacks off or gets fucked, and the diaper is just sort of there as like a little garnish to like, ooh,
Okay.
it must be a nice tight feeling and also makes her look like a little girl. Yum yum yum. Big difference between that and like writing.
Yeah.
Big difference between that and then like extensive multi-branching stories on CYOC.net about a girl becoming incontinent and shitting herself and being changed by every different member of her family and coming to that for about a weekend straight. Maybe something along those lines where sex never even gets involved. That's being submerged into the
Yeah.
same fetish that for others is a garnish.
Wait, so for you,
Okay.
are you saying it's a garnish or a
It's
a
pretty
submersion?
submerged, yeah.
That's my
So
dude.
it-
That's my guy.
If I can ask, what is the appeal of a girl becoming retarded and her parents changing her diaper?
well, doesn't
the-
incontinent just mean
Nikki,
you can't
what's
control your
appealing about a
bowels?
girl becoming retarded and her parents changing her diaper?
Good
She
question.
just gives me a sad face.
It's just deep personal trauma. That's really the root cause. No, I
Yeah, you want to answer? I'm gonna give her the mic. She's
Okay.
she's coming up. Get in close now.
any second.
What's
Get your
attractive
lube
gonna
ready,
happen.
everybody.
Retarded?
What?
Yeah. What's
yeah,
hot
answer the
about
question.
your girl being retarded and then changing her diaper?
Feeling powerless?
Her being okay. I can relate to that.
Yeah,
Now, is
that's
that hot
what
for the guy or the girl?
Oh, so she just says being powered. Sorry, I have the headphones on, so she can't hear you. This is a really awkward idea. I
Oh,
knew
I see.
letting her be in the room would be weird, but whatever. It's the sheer powerlessness, the sheer dehumanization of it. They have no independence now, right?
Well-
Those are the things
well,
I
what about
usually
you?
whisper in her ear during sex.
Is it-
Like, you have no brains, no ability to think, no independence, no ability to make decisions, no freedom. You don't have the option for freedom. You have no ability to choose.
Okay.
All
Right?
of that is true in Trump's America for a woman anyway.
That
so
is
why
true in
even
Trump's
think about it?
America.
Now I know that sounds weird, people, but I'm sure there's a lot of virgins listening to this. This is normal shit to say during sex. It is not weird to say the most fucked up shit to get people.
Nate, I
off
don't even
during
know why you're
sex.
bringing that up. I thought it was perfectly
okay,
fine.
all right,
Nikki
I got
apparently-
a-
Wait.
question.
Give.
I got a question.
Nikki wants water.
Devu.
Never. I thought she wanted the microphone. She just wants some water. She must be sweating a lot.
Okay. Go on. Okay.
All
what
right,
do you got?
Yeah.
Devu. That would
More
that,
like da poo.
there it
Nailed
is.
him. Nailed him.
Nailed it.
I've been holding that one in all night. Hey, that's what you're gonna say tonight, aren't you?
Oh, all right, everybody, shut up. Go on.
Would that idea work also with somebody who was just a vegetable, like they had brain damage and they can't move?
Not as good. No, not as good. No.
All right, why is the diaper part of that then? Why is that like
people
if
can be
they're
retarded
if they're-
enough to be needing to wear diapers?
It's just kind of I guess,
But-
sort of
but
an
still-
indicator of the low level that they're functioning at. Sort of
Yeah,
that they need
yeah.
that, Yeah. that
But
makes
it's
sense.
only attractive if you know it's an illusion, because if it was like an actual person, you wouldn't want to do, right?
Right. Maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that.
Maybe he slips that in.
Well, if there was a real 20-year-old girl who actually like fell off a motorcycle without a helmet and became retarded and wore diapers, you would want to have sex with her?
Well, okay, all right. Let's not
Monkey,
put you in
stop.
this position, guys. You gotta listen to me on this, okay? Because there's nothing wrong with being attracted to like the most fucked up shit. But like, it's not like you have to like. Even if you admit that you're attracted to something, that doesn't mean that you're going to like fuck a person who meets these criteria.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't like it's okay to be attracted to it. I was asking if you would actually rape this retarded person.
I don't think
no, because I would feel bad if I was brought up in a society for whatever reason rape was not frowned upon. Then yeah, but that's not the case.
You know, that's all we need. That's all we need. Let's keep going.
I mean, like, it's not like, oh, I'm not doing it because I'm not allowed to. It's like because people would feel bad about it, I would feel bad about
like,
it.
okay,
right?
everybody needs to
It's kind of
understand.
inherent.
If you're raised in a culture where like when you get older, like you and your brother have to fight and you have to kill each other and the winner gets the inheritance or whatever, like you would do that. Like that's what we're talking about. Like being in an immoral culture, we understand, of course, that these things are not good, that you shouldn't do them in real life, but
but if society thought it was okay, we would just do it.
Well, if society thought you could do things that you want to do that aren't okay now, then you would do them too.
Yeah.
Like that's just how humans work.
It's all because of
Oh no,
harm,
I'm totally on board. Why do you seem
It's
so
all because of
defensive?
actually
I'm on
doing harm to
board.
people getting involved, doing like. But when it comes to not doing harm, like maybe do I Google like medical journals of parents raising their retarded children and jack off to that? Sometimes potentially, I don't know.
Sometimes we've all been there, Nate.
This is
Why are you
fascinating.
freaking out?
I'm not freaking out. I'm just making sure people understand. That's my only goal.
I understand completely.
It's very much not as bad to say out loud, but the same sort of things sometimes happens with me with like breast expansion and stuff, where I would look at charts of like the average cup sizes over certain decades, and I would jack off exclusively to the idea that breasts in general are getting bigger.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
That's kind of funny.
Oh man, like, okay, I want to talk about sequences for a second, because like there was some like medium-sized kerfuffle on the internet a few years back over like some image that was meant for Tumblr alone, but somehow found its way into the SJW, anti-SJW sphere on Twitter and Facebook and such, of an image sequence.
It was probably Sargon of Akkad who leaked it.
of like this girl who's like a bimbo, a gyaru, or however you say it.
Gyaru, yeah.
And she slowly transforms into becoming shorter, smaller boobed, pale, darker haired, glasses wearing, book carrying, right? And you look at it.
Are you sure it wasn't the other way around? Doesn't she become the bimbo?
No, it's the other way.
Remember.
Wait, no, it's the other way around. I remember specifically. And like,
okay, if you say so.
And like for me, at first, because I had heard about it in the context of this SJW fight, I was like, oh wait, huh? Is that trying to send this message of fucking? It's important to not be attractive and be bookish instead. But then I looked at it more closely. I'm like, oh, it's a transformation sequence. And I posted it without context on the PCP chat, and Gib was like, oh, hey, it's a transformation sequence. It's a very classic medium of like have point A to point B. You show the steps. Maybe they turn into a pig. They turn into like twice their age. Two characters merge into one. That kind of thing. It's the sequence of events that itself can be attractive.
Yeah.
And I remember people got mad about that because, okay, I honestly can't remember which step came first, but like she went from like what appears to be like a smart. I mean,
it was the other way around.
She gets a tan, or like she loses her tan, but people took that to be like a racial thing. That like she's
they thought it was a racial thing.
Like
yeah.
people thought it was that, which it wasn't at all. She just like got a tan and became like a sexy housewife or whatever.
It was a racist thing. It was a racial thing. It was a fetishistically racial thing, not a politically racial one.
I'm not sure I agree with that. Like, I mean, maybe that's true, but it looked to me like she just got a tan.
Yeah.
But okay, but putting that aside, like it doesn't matter either way. It's about the transformation, and that's it.
I was thinking about like why it is that like growth and like big things getting bigger and like not getting smaller. Like getting smaller is bad. I don't like that. But getting bigger is good. And I was thinking probably that's
because you want to be bigger. Is that like a personal thing, maybe?
I don't know. I think it might stem from the fact that I'm just small and I'm used to people being bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the idea of a giant woman is pretty good.
Giant
like that
woman.
Steven Universe episode. Yeah.
Oh man, see,
that's the first one I ever saw.
It's a good one. I like
I
that a lot.
thought, this is gonna be good jerk off material later on.
We were talking about connecting, empathizing with the guy in the fucking thing. You also have like the contrast of the fantasy. I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, I want a guy who's all attractive and muscular because that's what I want to be. And of course, that's obviously why dicks are so big. As a potential alleged slightly above average dick user myself, right?
Lol.
That has no appeal to me. Honestly, I just look at like a 10-inch dick. I'm like, whatever. Small
Yeah.
penis
That's
humiliation.
nothing for you.
SPH, as it's called on D, is
Yeah.
pretty good. I'm really down for that. Like when like the anime girl just grabs the dick and it's like, this is it? Wait, isn't it gonna get? Wait, it's already hard? Huh? I don't think this is meant to go
no.
inside. a
Because
girl.
from your
I think this should
perception,
only
that's
be-
such a fantastical situation that you would never find yourself in.
Of
Yeah.
course. We got a real Mike Matei over here. Is you know,
Yeah. Wait, what the fuck does that mean?
Mike Matei has a huge cock.
He
Yeah.
does?
that's canon.
Yeah,
people
it's
Canon
like
seen
in
it?
real
11
life.
inches long. You can see it in a video, and he shows it off.
Oh,
Does he really? I haven't seen that, but
Yeah, he tells James like that his wife loves it.
well, I'm
Well,
not surprised.
Yeah, because James Rolfe is a cuckold.
Well, that's true. Okay, well, let's move
Yeah.
on. I have another one, like a whole separate topic that I wanted to bring up, and I know this has been discussed many times by various members of our organization here, but I want to talk about anthropomorphization, specifically when it comes to like animals and shit. And I just want to
yeah.
make a broad point at first, at least how I look at this stuff. I mean, and several of us have made videos about this, but like when I like, for example, My Little Pony, right? Okay, so those
Wait, what's that?
That's
What
it's
is that?
this it's this famous Japanese anime. You probably haven't heard of it. But it's
Oh, don't they have a movie coming out soon that we're all going to go review together?
I'm pretty
on the
excited. We're
TBAP
gonna-
channel.
There's going to be some things. There's going to be some things happening with that movie.
Uh-oh.
Very excited for it. But so like when I jack off to a My Little Pony, as I do all the time, like what I'm jacking off to is their human characteristics that are
course.
attractive to me. It like there's no difference to me between jacking off to like I don't know, Rarity or like some anime character, because neither of them are exactly human. What you're jacking off to is this sort of representation of a human female, which I find sexually appealing because I am a human male and I am programmed to respond to these things. Like
Right.
they've got
the
a pussy,
hooves,
there it is.
The mane,
Here I go.
the cutie mark.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
all those human things.
Their faces.
To me,
Yeah, go on, Gib.
like anthropomorphization is so like banal. It's like
Exactly.
a
It's
lot
not
of the
even
time, it's really just surface level features. As long as they have tits, you know.
Yeah.
But like as
but
long
the
as they're
ponies
like
don't have tits.
Okay, but if you doggy style
Well,
fuck them, then you can
no,
just
I
look
mean
their
like
ass,
the
which just
humanized
looks like a
version. That's
human
what
ass.
No. The like the anthropomorphized like images of like ponies as if they were humans.
Oh.
They're just girls with tits. And what are you talking
Well,
about?
I'm kind of talking about like
You
like
fucking freak.
I'm talking about the ponies themselves and the way they have human character. Like they aren't just horses; they're like this
Yeah.
cartoonified
Oh, yeah.
version of horses that are have a lot of human
hippo.
characteristics. That's
Come
right.
on.
Well, I made a video about that many
Why
years
ponies
ago.
can be sexy.
And I think it was great. I love that video. I think it made a lot
I
of good
think the
points.
appeal makes a lot more sense. It's much more apparently obvious, evident, self-evident if you check out Monster Girls. And I mean, Monster Moose, who made the show, will immediately educate you as to the appeal, which is you're getting everything that usually 75 to 85% of everything that you like about human girls with some cool animal features tacked on. So it's
That's
like
right.
the idea of like, man, wouldn't it be cool if you could ride your girl's back? And like she's perfectly comfortable taking you around town like that, you know? How would it feel to be fucking her from behind, but so far behind that her head's all the way like fucking over there because she's a goddamn horse, right? She's a
Yeah.
centaur baby, right? That's the thing that like,
Spider Girls are pretty good.
Rockanera's great. Rockanera's great. She's best girl, love
Right.
her. She's a
Or like
cutie.
Lola Bunny, you could do her bunny style and then play human basketball with her.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wait, what's bunny style? Is that where they
You
bounce?
just
on
jump
your-
We'll
up
get
on
into that
top.
in fetishes part 2.
Okay. Well, okay, I mean that's pretty much my entire point. I just want to kind of go over that. Like, yeah, I will jack off to like furries all the time. I'm not a furry at all, but I have absolutely no problem
But the
like
furry
jacking off
doesn't
to a furry
necessarily.
shit.
I mean, like
Yeah, like that's
the
not what I'm
further-
into. I'm into like the
Right.
female
oh yeah, there's
human
plenty of
aspects
furry
it.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like the further furry it gets, the furrier it gets, the more I have a hard time with it. Like,
Exactly.
you know, some
Yeah.
ears, nothing, right? Some fur on the skin, as long as the art's good. Muzzles, you better have a really hot context and some good dialogue that I'm gonna be able to jack off
Yeah,
to, or else like, I
yeah.
can't go any further, right? Like. Yeah, and like sometimes I specifically seek out furry art because it has its own culture, its own style, and sometimes I'm into some of the things it does. Furry art
Makes
is
sense.
way more just abrupt with getting to the point of what it wants, at least like in the whole diaper zone. Like art that is both furry and diaper is just way more like, all right, here's what you want, boom, crank it up to 11. Furry art tends to crank things up to 11 and be even more
I've noticed
shameless
that as well.
and direct.
What's that,
than
Gib?
And I've noticed that as well. Like furry
Oh, okay.
art is like always, like
shameless.
they're huge.
Yeah.
Like it's huge every time, every single thing that there could be.
Right. So like I
Oh,
was
I
like
see.
I was on a pretty big furry kick for like a week, a month or two ago because I was just really into a shamelessness kick, and the furry community provides that.
You know what's like a good
Yeah.
example of that? For many years, there's been a vast shortage of like Kingdom Hearts porn, but like Kingdom Hearts furry porn. Now there's a diverse community out there. There's tons of
Really?
that shit. To some extent. I mean, I'm not an expert, but like I feel like I've seen at least as much, if not far more.
Is there the
furry-
Lion King in that? Is that why?
well, Sora does become a lion in Kingdom Hearts 2, which you should play and find out
Oh.
yourself because it's pretty cool.
Did somebody have sex with the Keyblade?
The Keyblade is not too involved in
Nate,
this situation.
there's got to be a porn of
I have a
a
key
woman
fetish,
fucking
so that's my problem.
an actual Keyblade model,
Yeah,
right? It's got to be somewhere.
Probably.
People who are into like fucking metal things are probably called shinies, right?
Oh, they're called
Shinies.
by that.
maybe. Well, when it comes to my mind as a porn consumer of my mind,
They'd
if,
be
like, if I
crows.
wanted to make like
crows are into shiny porn.
crows would be into that. My mind when it comes to Kingdom Hearts porn, if like you wanted to involve the Keyblade, it would be like some sort of situation where they're like unlocking this like ultimate chastity belt or something, you know, where like the key is used to access the vagina in some way, and chastity belt comes to mind. You know, I'd go for something like that. Or you could fuck him with the Keyblade, though it would be pretty uncomfortable. It's not really shaped for that. But, you know, you could, like, Sora,
Life finds a way.
What
Sora
if-
could
what if you-
equip
what
the,
if-
yeah, go on, Gib.
What if it's like an anthropomorphized door with a keyhole vagina?
Oh my god!
Hell yeah.
I've never seen
Sure.
that one,
Hell
but
yeah.
That's a good idea. Let's get to it, boys. Let's get drawing. Let's get writing.
That's the next drawcast.
That's a good idea.
whichever.
If all the artists in the audience haven't been drawing everything we've been saying up to this
Yeah.
point, they should be.
if
I need lots of fan art of Devu and his girlfriend pooping on each other.
Oh, that's a
no,
good
not
idea.
no. That's just scat zone. That's just the actual zone of
Oh.
like being into the
Okay.
tactility of it. I'm not.
That's too
not,
far. Don't do that.
No. That's like that's really just for people who want to like have the feeling of it, which I am not into at all. That's why I'm pretty hesitant to do it. It's like
Can we
I have
draw
to-
Devu in a diaper?
Oh, I don't want to jack off to myself. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I don't
guess
know
my
what your girlfriend
would.
looks like, dude. I can't like
I mean,
draw
no one,
her.
No one wants to jack off to like their own situation. What's fascinating about porn is like the newness of it, the fantasy of it that you can get involved with personally. Porn of
Yeah.
yourself, I don't know. I could. I mean, there was a little porn drawn of my of Keg Standard back in the day, which was fine. But
Nate, the other day somebody drew art of you as a girl, and you jerked off to that in the PCP chat for like an hour.
but that's because that's
Different from your real
fantasy
life,
and
yeah.
sexy and something.
Well,
I
it's-
don't know.
it's
Oh
still
yeah,
you.
I definitely get turned on by PCP
no,
gender bender art if I'm in it.
Mumkey, hold the fuck on. You tell like Rule 63 versions of yourself are
Yeah.
like some of the hottest things to jack off to. Cause like
Yeah.
you know
To
yourself,
yourself?
and it's not just you though. It's girl you, and contrary to popular belief, there are actual differences between women and men. Look it up. Google is a big fan of this theory. So you know, like there's differences there. And we could explore them
Shout
together
out
while
to
I
Google.
pound the shit out of her vagina. And
I
that'd
mean,
be
I
great.
will say right now on my channel, I'm doing an art contest to draw me as a girl doing
right.
lesbian shit with Luna Lovegood.
Dude,
but
yeah.
Oh,
like
yes.
I don't masturbate to it. I just appreciate it. But I guess I'm just not in that headspace of wanting to jerk off to myself.
I mean, if there was like a dojin of like this female version character of me that someone had made, like I would absolutely jack off to it, without a doubt. But like,
get to work, PCP.
You know,
fans.
I've never
I
been
actually
much of a,
don't-
like a jack off to picture kind of guy, though. That's just not really my.
I actually don't know whether I would if it was like a girl version of me.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know. I don't know
it
why
depends on
that's
the situation,
that's-
though. Like if
Well,
it's
yeah.
me like editing a video and like releasing it, and I'm like, yay, that was fun. Also, I'm a girl. Also, I'm gonna suck this cock now. Like,
Hell yeah.
you know, like that's
Wait,
not
you
really
want to
in real life.
masturbate to yourself sucking a cock?
Well, if it's girl version of me, that's one of the many sexual acts that she could
but
do.
the thing is, when you watch porn, you imagine yourself as the dick, but now you're imagining yourself as the person sucking.
Well,
the
yeah.
dick.
No,
It's
no,
not
no,
very
I'm
different.
still
You're sucking
projecting-
your own dick. Exactly what
No,
you
he's
want.
No, no,
sucking
no.
somebody else's dick.
I'm projecting myself in the situation as the guy getting fucked by the gender swapped version of myself.
Wait, so you're
I'm so
imagining you having
confused.
sex with
Oh,
yourself?
come on. This is basic shit. I know that you've thought of this 1,000 times yourself.
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
come on. Come
No,
on.
What are
Nate,
you fucking
specifically
talking
when
about?
I'm thinking of girl version of me, and I'm thinking of me getting fucked by a dude. I'm thinking, oh my god, how would I feel being fucked with the
see,
vagina?
okay, I am not thinking about it that way. I'm not thinking about it that way. I'm
You're thinking
of
about
gay.
sucking
my
cock.
own. I'm thinking about like a female version of me that exists that I could then fuck, and that's what I'm. That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
that
doing.
is kind of like funny to because you are the best guy ever. So of course
right.
you'd have enough of an ego to want to fuck yourself.
Dude, every
Right.
person in the world. I don't believe that you don't want to fuck your own gender swap version of yourself.
right,
Everyone
I've
does.
thought about- I've
The
Everyone
girl
does.
version
about-
of me is gonna be as ugly as me,
Right,
and
but
I
I'm
have
a,
higher
I'm a golden
standards.
god. I'm a fucking beautiful
Yeah,
hero
so
man.
don't push your beliefs onto me. I don't want to fuck me.
Okay,
I'm
you know
hideous.
what? You know what? That's fair. That's
Why do you
fair.
think I wear a monkey mask in these fucking videos, dude?
Yeah, all right. Okay.
I don't want to
I've,
fuck
I've,
that.
I've had the thought, because everyone has the idea, like, what would it be like if you met a female version of yourself?
Yeah.
And I'm just, all I think about is, like, the conversations we would have, or how awkwardly it would begin, or whether we would even want to hang around each other. And then it doesn't really ever go further than that. I don't know why it's so different for you and from you.
Well, it's like
for you
a
and me
pair
and
of
that.
twins where one's a boy and one's a girl. Like,
Yeah.
do
Like-
they
like,
want
I
to
can't-
fuck
I
each
can't
other? Is that
imagine-
masturbation?
I can,
Absolutely.
I do
Cersei and
enjoy
Jaime.
like, I do kind of enjoy like the idea of me as a girl, just for the cute aspect, like seeing like
Yeah.
drawings of me just gender bent, just doing normal things, like just being a pretty girl. Like, yeah, that'll be nice. That's cool. I like that idea. The idea that I'm the other gender and I just look better because
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
And that's
of course
why when I
there's
play Pokemon, I always play as the girl. I'd rather be
Yeah.
a girl, but that doesn't mean I want to fuck me.
And of course, there's like a bit of a fantasy element to it. Like, you can like in your head make your female version look like basically whatever you want. So like, yeah, of course that's real. But like when I kind of think of this female version of me, she's also an anime character. So
Right.
So like that's
And
definitely
also
a
a My
factor.
Little Pony.
Of course, yeah, anime. I already covered that.
Devu, have you finished your big story yet?
Big story.
He's got through all
Yeah,
his
you
points
said that
now,
you
I think, right?
you said that he had like a whole thing planned
Oh,
out. and I wanna know
I've
if
just
he
been like
finished
taking
it.
down notes occasionally here and there. I have another one, which is like,
Okay.
Hippo talked about like other emotions that get attached.
Because we are an hour in, just to let you guys know.
That's
yeah,
true.
I'm looking at the waveform. I'm paranoid about audio glitches. So, like Hippo was talking
Yeah.
about how like things can be scary, and I believe he was alluding to the idea that it sort of enhances the emotions. It like gets your blood rolling a little bit faster, and that can like
Yeah.
enhance the groin area action, if you know what I mean.
That's like some
And-
subdom shit, right?
Right. And like there are lots of things I'm just fascinated with in general that then also become fetishes. They were like, hold on, wait a second.
Oh, he
Anyway,
shot his dick out.
there are things that I can.
Wait, what?
There are things
You
that
He got
I
his dick out?
Of course.
Sorry, there's just
Mine's
people
been out
walking
the whole
around.
time.
I haven't had like much of my own room in the last handful of months.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there are things I was fascinated with for a long time, even like as a child, and my body did whatever it could manage to do to turn me on in some way. I didn't have the resources yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's just general fascinations, right? Gender bending is definitely one of them. The exploration of the other sex back and forth is a very interesting concept for me. So much, I'm really so obsessed with that concept that it pisses me off when it shows up in a piece of media because it's always done as a joke or for quick fan service or for like some sort of sitcom-y thing, a la Ranma 1/2, and never really explored like as a real theme, as a real
Okay.
narrative, right? And I love it when it's really talked about, when it's really like explored like in an interesting, intimate way. But it's almost never done that, and it always teases me. So it pisses me off so bad, both for my dick and for my heart, because I find it a fascinating concept. And it, so I feel like I'd never be able to like watch Ranma 1/2. I'm even really hesitant about watching Your Name because I know it's gonna have that thing, and I know they're not gonna really explore that in depth. They're just gonna
Yeah,
have some
yeah.
scenes that tease me, and I'll just be left frustrated, right? But what I want to do, and I have done sometimes, is there are some. Like, there's some ecchi freaking mangas out there that really explore it. There's one where this guy gets into the body of like a 7-year-old girl, and like it's great. For the first, it's called Ichi Nensei ni Nachatora, and it's like almost every page is in service of either your dick or like feeling the concept of what it would be to suddenly be in this different body, right? And
Wait, so what does he do as the 7-year-old girl?
well, go to school, but still secretly study for his exams in high school
Wait,
because that's what he has to do.
Hang on.
How's that sexual?
Yes,
I think
yes,
I
Hippo?
think I may have seen that or seen something very similar. but
I
it
think I
wasn't
told you about it. Yeah.
No, but it was like this idea that this guy got transformed into the body of a little girl or a little boy. I forget.
Yeah,
But,
there's a fair,
it was-
handful of them. Yeah.
And it was like he thought he could he thought it was great because like I'm younger now and I have all this future knowledge. But then slowly his like future knowledge started to go away as he realized that he had a child's
You're gonna have to
brain.
find that and link that to me.
Cause then he was like, oh, I don't know how to count anymore. What's going on?
Shit.
That's
Oh
brutal.
my god, I have to read that one.
That's like
I don't
too
even know what
scary.
it was. It may have been like it was years ago that I think I've
Wow.
seen that.
Yeah, that's definitely not the one I'm referring to. See, I was going to talk about like age regression. That's just my outright favorite concept in anything. Mental thought, hypothetical, science fiction, fetishes, anything. That's my favorite thing.
Hey,
ever.
One Piece movie 10 has a bunch of age regression of all the characters, but especially Nami becomes a little baby girl, and Robin goes from like 30 to like 27 or something, and she goes like 16.
No, she goes-
looks exactly the same,
yeah.
but it's
14.
amusing.
See, but same
That's good
problem.
stuff.
It would just piss me off because it wouldn't
Yeah,
go deep
yeah.
enough. And
Fair
like,
point.
What about Benjamin Button? There's a whole movie about
I
that.
actually didn't finish that movie. I mean, it's a dude. I'm not like
Yeah, I didn't finish.
yeah. Lol.
I
But
hear ya.
anyway, yeah, like so, like that the manga I mentioned before, Ichi Nensei ni Nachatara. It's like probably the most complicated Japanese title I can enunciate.
I know Nichi Nensei means first year. That's what I
Yeah.
know, folks. There you
Right.
go.
So he like in the second the book always refers to him as he just because he never accepts it. Right. He eventually gets cured at the very end. But like
Because as we all know, gender is what you identify as opposed to your biology. This is
right.
what I
So
understood.
chapter
Okay.
2, he like wakes up and like
Nate, shut up.
and like starts walking around the room and like immediately like it has all this dissonance with how many steps it takes to get from place to place, how much he has to reach to grab shit, and like just it always explores like how different things feel for him. There's a part where like he has to like jump up on a pole to like save himself, and he like is
Oh, he's
holding onto
jumping
the
up
pole.
on that pole. Let me tell you about that.
Well, yeah,
shit.
but what happens
Oh!
is that as he's holding to the pole really tightly, he's like, "Oh man, in my old body, this would like I'd be feeling the pressure against my dick right now, and this would be fun.
Wow.
But in this body, it doesn't do anything for me, right?"
Oh, they're going
there's like,
deep,
There's
okay.
like a multiple part chapter where he's like tries to figure out whether or not he can like masturbate in that young girl's body or not, right? So like it's just constantly exploring like what is happening to him. And that's what I want. I
Okay.
actually found out about it, I think, from D, because someone posted a comment saying, what I really want out of age regression and like transgender stories is not so much just going ham on the fan service as much as explore what happens to their life. Like show them hanging out, right? I remember some people talking about they like it when like a guy gets turned into a woman and it just stays like that for years and has kids, right? That's
Sure.
what I really want to see. I want
Yeah,
to
like
see
Bruce Jenner.
yeah, exactly. So
Right.
yeah, that's and then for me, it's like I don't know, that exploration of being in a different body, of having that like age taken away from you is a very fascinating concept that is definitely my least favorite thing about reality is it doesn't have that or gender bending remotes. I know for months, I know for months like gender bender and age regression remotes should be a real thing was a suggested title topic for PCP.
That's true.
Next week.
We already did
There's
that.
not
We
really
fucking
there's
did
not
it.
really much to say about it at this point.
We did gender swapping. Remember that?
Yeah, so like the fact that I'm so into it as a concept gives it so much allure, even if someone were to just cut off my dick. And like so the fact then that it feeds into it, right? And it creates this feedback loop of still having a burning passion for it even after I'm done. I'm still thinking about it, being like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Well, all right, there you go. All right, anybody got some final points to make on this before we go to questions? I think it's about that time.
Well, I could talk a little bit more about the whole like giant woman thing because I didn't really say anything about
Giant
that.
woman. Okay,
Let's
go
do
for
it.
Well, I think I like the idea of like girls that are taller than me, which is usually it's the other way around. Like the short girl is the cute one, and you got to be a tall man. But I'm not tall, and I've always annoyed that the fact that I'm not tall because it seems like tall guys get everything. So it was like
Don't worry,
some
manlit
point-
uprising is coming. Don't worry.
yeah. And at some
We
point,
will
I just
finish
I
what
s-
Elliot started.
That's
I
right.
just sort of liked the idea that a woman could be like bigger than me and like put her arms around me and then cradle me like an idiot, like a stupid small little man.
Sure.
I don't know.
Do you masturbate to the Pieta sculpture?
the what?
The Pieta, where it's the Virgin Mary, and she's like 9 feet tall, cradling a little tiny Jesus.
Oh,
Someone should
no.
draw that picture and replace Jesus with Gib. Just put him in there.
you have to do it.
Someone,
please give
please.
me Hippo in the Pieta.
I guess I didn't really have much to say about it. I like giant stuff. I like big things. It's good.
Big things come in
fetishes.
small packages, Gib.
Yeah, that's why my last girlfriend broke up with me. She liked big things too.
The big things come in small packages argument wasn't really enough for her when I, in the bedroom.
She wasn't buying it. She didn't give a fuck about the motion of the ocean. She wanted the wave.
It's sad but true, folks. Let's all kill ourselves. Okay, let me just finish. I just want to make one final point, just to sum up what I was saying before. Remember, folks, it's totally normal to be in all kinds of weird, fucked up shit. A lot of it just stems from the experiences you have in your life. Yeah. I'm sure that's an explanation for like most of the reason why I'm into the stuff that I'm into sexually. Not that I'm that weird or anything, but yeah, just I don't know. Don't shame anybody. This is all totally normal. I think it's
Don't
pretty
shame
normal.
anybody, but if they rape a retarded person, do arrest them.
I agree.
I do endorse that, by the way. I'm saying that should be arrested. That wouldn't be allowed. That shouldn't be allowed.
As
Just saying.
Defoe slyly slides away his proposition to make rape illegal, just slide that under my desk here. All right. Well,
That
that's
would be the great PCP civil war, is that Devu wants to make rape legal and Munchie wants to make sex outlawed.
Yeah,
They have to go to war.
that's
It'll
a
just
great
be like in
idea.
the near future where probably smoking will be banned and weed will be legal everywhere. Everything just gets flip-flopped, you know what I mean?
See, if there is a war, I can't be on Munchie's side because people always confuse us for each other, and I'll probably get assassinated when they're trying to get him.
That's true. That's
Right.
true. Wouldn't it be even worse if even if you were on the opposite side, they still assassinate you by mistake? Now that
somebody
would be
on my
embarrassing.
team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be really.
Surely
a shame.
a war of people who like sex and people who don't like sex would instantly, well, not instantly, but eventually the people who like sex would win because they would make more soldiers.
Exactly. But then again, maybe
That's a good point.
maybe our heroic virgins, like Isaac Newton types, like they would all get together and advance science by like 1,000 years because they're not distracted by disgusting sex havers anymore. Maybe that would happen.
those
you know?
heroic virgins like
Yeah.
like Elliot Roger or the Columbine kids.
Yeah, exactly. The Columbine kids, yeah, our
The,
heroes.
Elliot Roger would have been a fine warrior if he had a cause to wave his, to a banner to wave.
If he had a
cause
real
to rise
car to
behind.
batter people with.
He had
Yeah.
some issues to sort out beyond just his main thing.
Hey,
Okay.
he was pretty good at World of Warcraft.
Hey, no argument there. And that,
Yeah,
what
he
makes
knows
a
how to
man
raid.
beyond his Warcraft account? Really, not much. All right, let's go to our questions here, everybody. Remember, hashtag AskPCP. We do it every Saturday. There you go. At
Hey,
TP
actually, can I
Procrastinators
come
on
out with like a little bit of an announcement, like to talk about some shit that's happening? I was just checking
Okay.
my Twitter. So okay, here's some YouTube titles for you. The big change in the anime industry that has people. I can't read the rest. Her potential is insane. He saved this one. ...
Oh no.
You! 5 exclamation marks. Digi has gotten into some Twitter beef with some guy who doesn't like his thoughts about this shit about the whole anime streaming thing. He's doing it publicly, so I'm not breaking any boundaries here. Now, I'm not going to make any comment myself. I haven't watched this guy. His name is For Never World, or as I like to call him, Forlorn Hope that he'll ever get laid in his life.
know
He
that
said...
guy.
I'm not a bad YouTuber. He said, I'm a bad YouTuber, responding to Digi, calling him a bad YouTuber. He says, when you don't have to rely on clips and images to get audience retention, come back to me.
Wait.
So I guess he's
wait.
referring-
What?
I think he's referring to how
What?
Digi's videos, like with you, Nate, like the podcasts, get
Uh-huh.
less views. Listen, it's not because they don't have images. I mean, that's part of it. The fact that you don't rely on images to get views, forlorn hope that you'll ever get laid, is that all of your videos have clickbait titles, and his
Wait,
do not as often. So
Look, dude,
anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
I don't give a fuck about this beef between Digi and this other guy, but like, is he making a? I don't understand the point. Is he saying that it is bad to add clips and images to
yeah.
your videos?
No, I think
don't
I
understand.
think he was saying that the only reason people watch your videos is because you put clips in them.
Yeah, like you're
But-
one of those mainstream guys who like dull the senses of your audience with a bunch of fancy clip
Well,
keys dangling before their foreheads.
That's why I don't understand the point about what you said about like he's like, but that isn't an insult to the videos of that's just a still image of from one anime that we just leave up and don't animate because like we're not editing
Yeah.
anything. That's just
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks like all of his videos are just vlogs with his big face in the camera. So
okay. Well, this is
I mean,
a huge
it's
waste of
funny 'cause,
time.
like,
Let's
it's funny that I'm jumping into like sticking my dick in this hornet's nest on the podcast that is literally loaded with the most material against me that could possibly be posted.
Yeah.
But hey, fucking whatever.
Well, to be fair, this you posted a picture, and this For Never World guy, his own chosen profile picture looks like a retarded person, so I wouldn't feel too bad about what he has to say.
Yeah.
I don't give a
Alright,
shit about any of
let's
this.
get
Let's
to
get
the
to the
questions.
questions.
I just had to get that off my tongue.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Here's one. At Aaron_Fell asks, why did you all pick your respective names? Apart from Nate, we all know why. I'm the best guy ever. What can I say?
Shut the fuck up.
That's a good question.
Hypocrite was.
I've been trying to figure out the meaning behind that. I can't tell what hypocrite means. Please explain it to me.
It
All
means
right,
that puns
okay.
are awesome.
It means it's. I thought like critical hit, and also gaming critic, like critical hits are in games. Gaming critic crit, and hypocrite as in like it's an animal. I just thought of that one day out of nowhere, and I thought I gotta have that if that's gonna be. I gotta keep that name, so I made a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So that I could keep it. And then that's it.
Good boy.
I thought it was because you always logically contradicted yourself, and were acknowledging that you
Well,
were a
that-
hypocrite, but
that-
also
that-
you
that's-
are
that's
very
also
bad
the
at
reason.
spelling because you're English.
Yes.
Yeah, quit
I'm
shoving
surprised
the
there's not like a U in there or something.
At the beginning, my thing was also on top of all those other parts of the pun. Hypocrite, as in, I will say things hypocritically, so that in case I actually do be a hypocrite, I could say, look at my name. What are you gonna do?
Nigga, what is the channel called? What are you fucking talking
Yeah,
about?
you've got cover for life.
I haven't really utilized that at all because the only way I'm a hypocrite is that my name is hypocrite, but I'm not hypocritical. That's
true.
That's how I. That's
Oh,
how
that
I
makes
do it.
sense. Monkey,
Oh,
how'd you come up with
the
yours?
appeal of Hippo's channel for me is that he is so authentic and genuine with his love for like the games he played when he was younger. So I wouldn't like it if you started saying hypocritical things like for a meme. I think it
Yeah.
would take away from some of the magic.
I
So I'm
agree.
glad you haven't done that.
Monk-
My name is it was not chosen as a username. It was a name thrust upon me in high school by my so-called friends because they noticed that I resemble both a human and a monkey. So they went ahead and threw those words together, and it stuck, and I embraced it, and now that's me.
Oh, I didn't know that came from like friends or something. That's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I could see where they got that idea from the the way you look in videos. You do
Yeah.
kind of look like a monkey.
Yep. I'm very happy with it, and it helps that I'm 5'7" because I'm about the height of a monkey too.
Okay, Devu.
That's taller than me.
My username means that
Well, yeah, but you're a gibbon.
I don't really
you're smaller
like-
than a
That's
monkey.
true.
when I got on the internet, I didn't really feel like having a username. My first name was like just my name, but like condensed a bit. But then my dad was like, "It just looks too much like your name. That looks kind of dangerously Googleable." I'm like, "Okay."
It's very
I'm
interesting that your dad was giving you critiques on your usernames for your online
I
activities.
mean, it was like
That's
it was like my name and then like my last initials, and he was like, "I don't know, that seems a little dangerously Googleable." I'm like, "You're right."
I see.
And I just had this, I don't know what day, what moment, what fever dream, just the whole idea of taking my name, which is David, then just changing the last syllable to an "oo" came from. And, I just came up with it when I was 13. I never changed it. Pretty fortunate, because it seems to age pretty well. Like, the further I go on in my life, it just seems to take on new meanings. Like, my PCP friends, you guys tend to describe it as, like, sounding all mysterious, like I'm some sort of abstract mythological beast.
Yeah.
I always thought
Or
of
like
it as
it rhymes with da poo, which is
And that too.
I always thought of it as soon as I saw it. I thought, da voodoo, like he's a witch
Oh,
doctor.
shit. Wow.
It reminds me a little bit of my friend John that I reference sometimes on here. He like calls himself
John Tron.
John Tron, that's right. Nah, it's a different John. He calls himself Johnos sometimes. Like that, it's not his name. He just came up with it and like introduces himself as Jonos sometimes. So
Nice.
no idea why.
Yeah, no, the part of my name that didn't age too well is I was calling myself like the Great Devu. Because, that's like internet making yourself all grandiose. Usually because Devu is usually taken from most websites, because I think it's like a Spanish word name or something. So it's actually not. Up until a couple of years ago, my name was like very bad for Google. Like, because there'd just be like I think there's some rapper called Devu That Producer or whatever. So It's not great for Googling, but usually the Devoo is never taken, so it's a perfect middle ground. That's why the stuck around.
How great is it to finally beat Google and overcome that like search result thing? When like I remember for like a year after starting Best Guy Ever, like when I searched it, all this other shit comes up that I didn't give a fuck about. But now finally, I have conquered Google, and now my shit comes up. But I've been noticing hypocrite does not come up initially when you search hypocrite, and it pisses me
It's
the
all
fuck
people
off.
misspelling it.
Yeah, it autocorrects to normal hypocrite.
It's one of the biggest tragedies. I didn't even think about
It
that.
will be fixed in time. You just have to grow more, and that just works itself out.
You just have to grow more,
no
Hippo,
doubt.
just like all that art you look to.
Exactly, so I can jack off to it.
I was about to say though, the podcast actually came up when I typed it in.
Really, I was having that same problem. That's great. Do you have to put like the period after the D and shit?
No, I didn't.
Whoa.
Just put a space.
Well, fuck. I gotta try that out. Okay.
In my household, the period comes before the D. If you know.
Okay, here we go. At Papa Mutt Dog asks,
Ew.
"Is the vape pen might?" Shut up! You ruined my flow. Is the vape pen mightier than the sword?
There's a vape
pen?
sword.
Is the vape pen mightier than the
Could you
sword?
imagine? Could you imagine a vape sword? Like it's actually the size of a sword, and you blow or you suck on one side, and it comes out of the tip of the sword right at the end.
Imagine it's like just take this potion sword and
For
just
some
go
reason-
and hit people with it.
Saying vape sword reminds me of Invisible Air, which is the name of Saber's sword from Fate's Stay Night, which is actually just Excalibur, but they pretend that it's Invisible Air.
I would like Ben to have a vape sword.
Me too.
Yeah.
It would be very. It would be.
That would
very
be his
cool.
fucking. That would be his
I would
strife
like
syllabus.
Ben to not be alive.
No, wait. A vape katana. There we go.
That would
No,
Ben.
yeah,
Ben,
wouldn't
is
vape be
practiced.
Ben's strife specibus? It would be vape. It'd have to
Ben,
be, right?
Well, Ben is
yeah.
practiced in the art of kendo and has maxed out his Bushido stat, so he's ready for that vape katana. Okay, here's the greatest comment ever. This isn't a question, it's just a comment, but at Jam Schmain, it's spelled kind of funny, says, "Thanks for fat shaming me into losing 10 pounds, hashtag #fitboy.
shit.
Hell yes, your main man Manny is his username
Oh wow,
thing.
that guy. I know him.
You're welcome, dude, and I will continue on this quest to fat shame everyone into getting their shit together, because there's no excuse to not, be a fit person. Excellent. Thank God for you. You're a hero. Here we go. At Swag Dude. I don't know if you want to answer this, Devoo, but he's asking, how's Devoo's video game going?
Oh, very, very slowly. I just keep, I'll spend just weeks at a time just editing videos and then watching anime. It's definitely like I don't know exactly what speed it's gonna take, but I'm having a huge fun time with it. I am learning the incredible power of like, when you're a teenager, you have unlimited time but no purpose in life, so you're depressed. You're too depressed to make anything all that good. Well, at least that's how I was. As an adult, I have that sense of mission, but the sense of mission and the needing to make money can also sort of trap you. It can keep you trapped in this need for money. So basically, I've made enough money to, well, I have not really a decent amount of money, but I have my own career now and I have all my spare time. And so I've bought myself that teenage sort of lifestyle to work on something because I want to make it, and it doesn't have to make its money back. I think it might, because, I don't know, probably only like 108 people are going to buy it. That's basically what I'm prepared for. But it's so great to just have all this time to make something that I want to make. But yeah, it's going around very, very, very slowly. Don't expect it out by the end of the decade.
The decade?
Looking forward to it. Hey, that's only 3 years. It's not that bad.
Oh, I thought he meant like the next 10 years. I was like, well, fuck.
No, this decade's almost over, so it probably won't be
Like,
this decade.
Devoo, I want to be alive to play the game, so
Yeah.
please don't take 10 years. I'll be dead.
Oh yeah, definitely not taking that long. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hindu god of homos asks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good guess. Are boats good? What is the best boat?
No.
I love boats. Boats. The best kind of boat is a boat that can fly.
And her
Yeah.
name is Going Merry. Going Merry is the best boat.
No, really. Like the idea of a pirate galleon that has either magically or scientifically the ability to fly through the air is my favorite thing of all time.
Hey, you know what you would like then? Final Fantasy, specifically Final Fantasy 9, because it's full
Yep.
of those.
Yep.
Oh, well, there we go.
You'd
Aesthetic
also
as
like
fuck.
you'd like the music video Boats and Hoes. You gotta have me my Boats and Hoes, I think is how it goes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here's one. At the Wolfheart. Hey, what's up, dude? This guy's a good artist, man. Between single and multiplayer, do you think one is superior, and does the
Single
lack of
player
the
is
other
superior.
affect your interest in a game?
Single player will make
single
me want to
player's
play. I
better.
very singularly focused on single player games for the most part. Yes.
Yeah, multiplayer. It's as long as if it's turn-based multiplayer like a card game, it's okay. But generally, the idea of playing online with people, the internet fucks me over more often than I would like, and it just annoys me.
I'm back to having not viable internet, so it doesn't even matter anyway.
You know what's funny about this? I almost exclusively play single player games, but I just so happened I got Splatoon 2 recently for my Switch, which I have been playing more than any other video game, which is to say, like, I'll play like 1 or 2 games a day, which is like 15 minutes, but I'll still do it, and it's fun, and I'm certainly playing it more than any other game right now. Of course, I did just beat Hollow Knight, and that took, like 40 hours split out over many weeks of playing.
Yeah.
So
I guess I should clarify, competitive multiplayer games I hate. Like, playing on a Minecraft server with people, that's fun.
that is super fun. That is super fun. I used to play League of Legends a lot, but I just cut the time out because it's not fun, and it sucks.
Didn't everybody say Splatoon 2 sucks?
Splatoon 2 is fun as fuck. I mean, I bought it because
Splatoon 2 splats.
the biggest complaint was that it's too much like Splatoon 1, and it certainly is.
Oh.
But the thing is, I never owned Splatoon 1, so I just wanted to play this game all the time, and I don't have a Wii U, so I needed to get Switch, and I already had a Switch, so I bought Splatoon 2, and it's exactly what I wanted, and it delivered, and it's fucking great for me. Maybe not for everybody.
Yeah. The only thing I know about new video games is what Video Game Donkey tells me, so I just assumed it sucked.
Yeah, he's he was one of the guys making the criticism. I think that's just like it's not enough. It's just like the same game again with some extra couple of things.
It's like a DLC that you got conned out of $50 for.
For people who played Splatoon 1 and owned it, and like if they were buying this to get an upgrade or get like the new game, like I can see why they'd be a little disappointed. But I
Like
really
any
love it.
Call of Duty game ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's like this is like one of the only times Nintendo's gonna pull this kind of fast one on people. So
But like the flavor I loved, and I got to be around. Fuck, is her name Callie or Marie? It's Marie. Yeah, Marie is there, and she's cute as fuck. And the squid.
They're
sisters.
minerals, Marie.
I don't.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what that means. Explain that.
That's from Breaking Bad.
Oh. Good. Excellent. Good joke. Good joke
Fuck
to end
you.
on, everybody.
Hippo, you're supposed
We're
to
done.
get it, Hippo.
I saw that movie show.
You're goddamn right I got it.
Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for saving
Hell
us. We're
yeah.
done, everybody. Thanks for listening. Make sure you pledge to our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/theprocrastinators. Get those bonus episodes, of which there are 5 now. Last one was Kill La Kill versus Hey Arnold. Come the fuck on.
the
by
result
that.
will shock you.
Is that the one that Ben released for free?
That is the one that Ben released for free for a
So
minute
everybody, you
accidentally.
already heard this episode, so
But-
go buy the other one.
But even if you've already heard that one, you can't get to any of the others unless you go to the Patreon and pledge $5. So there you go.
yeah.
And
right.
there it is, folks. We're all done. You ask us more questions next time at using hashtag AskPCP on Twitter. Follow us at TBCrastinators. Subscribe, comment, fuck you, et cetera, et cetera. All right, we're all done. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you next week with another one. Oh, and I almost forgot. This is episode 69. This is episode 69.
yeah.
We did it,
Wow.
motherfuckers. We
what
did
a
it.
really
We nailed this.
convenient coincidence that we didn't bend over ass backwards to ensure happened.
I know it, my
Uh-oh.
dude. All right, everybody say goodbye. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to